Stray, you're missing everything. We're flying across the land. Way better than bouncing on a horse. Is this how you always travel? But how can you be so impassive? Isn't it a marvel? Alright, I'll sit down. But you can't expect me to ride a train for the first time and not be at least a little excited. Besides, we are in a private compartment, so it should be fine, right? My first time riding a train and I do it in the first class. Could I be any luckier? I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about that. You spent extra money just because you didn't trust me to act naturally. I wish I could be offended, but it seems you were right about me. Still, I reserve the right to pout. Just a little. Yeah, I know just because we're leaving Cindercame, it doesn't mean we are out of the woods. I'll be as cautious as a thief in daylight. Don't worry so much, we should still be in the clear for now. No way anyone saw us board that train. Between the two of us, anyone trying to tail us would have tripped over their own feet, right? Considering how you are, I'm going to take that as the complete confirmation nobody knows we're on our way to... How was it again? Treble Rod, right. A simple town in the countryside with no presence of the flock or assassins as far as you can tell. Should be the perfect place to settle. I know we haven't decided yet whether we'll settle there or cross the border, but with what you've told me about the town, it really seems to be a lovely place. I can't imagine how nice it must be to live somewhere you can actually see the horizon. Well, I'm sure you could see the horizon high up in your ivory tower, but night crawlers like me rarely go above the street level, so I will enjoy the change of scenery. Thank you very much. What are you doing? Alright, I'll try my best to act natural, but there was no need to. Hi there! What can we do for you? Food and drinks? Honey, can we... They serve coffee? Really? Make that too then. And for eating... I'm not really sure. What would you like, honey? Then it's settled. I'll take one of those too. Thank you. And a nice day to you too, miss. The sweet aroma of coffee. Hard to believe I missed it so much after just 2 days in that sewer. I don't know how you managed to stay 1 whole month without this. I did call you honey, yes, but don't imagine anything. I was just keeping up the act. I mean, a young and all lovey-dovey couple taking a vacation in the countryside. Wasn't it our cover story? I think I'll stick to straight then. Suits you just fine. Well, I'm glad you like it, because you'll hear it a lot more. If that's okay with you, of course. I wouldn't want... I mean, this is how I called you back when I thought you were my hostage. You're right, I did say that. You're still very much my hostage, so it's fine. Is this how the others do it? Relationships. I've already told you this is all kinda new for me. I haven't really had the chance to fall for someone. Right. So I don't really know what I should expect. Or what you're expecting from me. As if I could believe that. Don't forget I spent some time watching you before snatching you. I saw you flirting. A lot. You seemed pretty confident back there. You mean all of this was just to keep the facade? That you just never act in a manner that doesn't directly benefit you as... You know what? That sounds like a very exhausting existence. I get why you wanted to escape it. I don't even know how you lasted as long. I certainly couldn't have. Calculating each move, each word that comes out of your mouth. It's easier when it's the only thing you've ever known. Somehow that makes it even sadder. I used to think the flock was rock bottom, but maybe I just didn't know what rock bottom really looked like. I suppose there's no point in keeping score over who had it rougher. Anyway, why won't we talk about something nicer? All of this is behind us anyway. Can you tell me again about Treble Rod? It seems to be such a nice place. A commercial crossroads with a lot of traffic. Yeah, you already told me that. Why it would be the perfect place to hide. But I mean, can't you tell me something that's not just from a practical perspective? Like, what did you think the first time you went there? The scenery, the people, that kind of things. What makes Treble Rod the town it is? I know you weren't there on vacation, but there must be at least something that touched your heart at the time. It can be anything, really. I'm sorry, I didn't want to push you. Really? There's one thing? What is it? Oh, please, tell me! Come on, is that the best you can do? A story about buying ingredients to make poisons isn't really... Alright, I'm listening. Oh, I didn't expect that. Buying compounds to dye your hair? Can you really do that? You even had training in basic alchemy. Is there anything you can't do? You had reasons to think your cover was blown before you even arrived in Treble Rod, I see. You even used the fact they knew what you were supposed to look like against them. Not having matching hair color was almost a guaranteed get out of trouble card. And then? Do you really think so? I mean, why a countryside apothecary would recognize some blue blood from the capital? They were also from Cindercame? What are the odds? Come on, I really don't think you can blame yourself on this. It's not a misjudgment. You can't account for every variable all the time. In the end, you're only human. So what happened? I guess there's more to that story than hair coquetry, right? Oh, yeah, of course. I was expecting that. Wait. You thought about killing them? Meaning you didn't? Wasn't that a risky thing to do? Not that I'm not glad to hear it, but still. This doesn't look like you. I mean, who you were forced to be. They honestly seem to not care at all. Did they suspected what you were? And you still didn't? I don't understand. There must be more to that story. You talked to them, okay. Talked about Cindercame. How everything was rotten in corruption and power games. How they escaped all this by coming to Treble Rod. Oh, so that's why you immediately thought about this place. You already know from first-hand testimony this is really the place to flee the capital. Yeah, sorry, please go on. They had a goblin? Like, a servant? A goblin employee? Alright, I wasn't expecting this. But what does this have to do with anything? They seem to really care about that green pest. Well, I guess if you travel enough, you are bound to find the odd one eventually. But I still don't understand what this has to do with... my opinion, if I care about a goblin. This is kinda hard to imagine, but alright. If I really cared about a green imp, I think... I would have a pretty low opinion of anyone in a position of power. I mean, even more. Meaning, if they knew you were a noble by birth and an assassin, they would easily guess you were primarily targeting the kind of person they would wish to see disappear anyway. Well, I'm flattered you find my deduction skills on par with yours, really, but still, even if you were right in the end, wasn't that still a huge if in a plan with no room for error? You just couldn't do it. See? I told you that you were too gentle of a soul for that path, and I was right. I didn't ask for that, but yeah, I figured you killed your mark. This is still you we're talking about. And that apothecary never gave you any trouble? Not even a friendly attempt at blackmail? It seems you are a very good judge of character. And to be honest, if I had been in your situation, meaning with all the consequences that the slightest error of judgment can induce, yeah, I think I would have killed them both. Hey, don't look at me like that. I was only talking about my hypothetical rise to the ranks of an assassin. I am still absolutely incapable of committing such a thing in cold blood. And if it wasn't in cold blood? Well, I did intend to kill you in self-defense, and you're still very much alive as far as I can tell. You may keep a little scar as a souvenir, but I guess this is the extent of my capabilities. No promotion in sight for me. Guess I'll have to settle for the best thief in Treble Rod. Tragic. Honestly, I'm relieved. Knowing I couldn't take a life even when I thought I had to, it's like a proof I'm still me. And this saves me from feeling like a hypocrite. After that long tirade I gave you about the supposed moral superiority of thieves, I don't think less of you because of your past. I was talking about an assassin who would enjoy doing this for a living. You clearly never would have had to shut your heart like you did if you were a natural-born killer. If anything, I can only think highly of you for enduring this for so long and still managing to open your heart. Especially to someone like me. Someone who never expected to be let in. Goddess, what are you even making me say? And you wouldn't even let me go for a walk in the hallway, right? We must be as inconspicuous as possible, yeah, so I really have nowhere to flee. Unless... Mind if I sit next to you? Not to flee, just to hide my blush. Well, because at least I won't have to constantly face your gaze. Isn't that an old saying? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Well, you're both, aren't you? So, yeah. This is my riposte. I really don't care if you can't understand all the subtleties of my brilliant plan. Come on, Stray, give me some room on that bench. Goddess, these seats are ridiculously soft. I don't think I've ever sat on anything this comfortable in my whole life. They almost rival leaning against you. Almost, but not quite. Speaking of, mind if I just... Yes, that's it. Don't know why, but being close to you, it makes everything feel... safe. Funny how trust sneaks up on you when you're not looking. It was nice of you to share that story. A story of your past that didn't end in blood. I'm happy to get to know more of the real you. Sure, you killed your mark, but that wasn't the point in that story. A story about how, despite everything you've been trained for, you still made the right choice. And I don't care if you brush it off by speaking of calculated risk or whatever. You took a more hazardous path because you've been able to connect with someone. Like you managed to reach for me. It would have been easier for you to just use me and throw me the minute I wasn't useful to you. But you didn't. It's really not the same. I know it might be hard for you to understand it now, but even if you still gain something by keeping me close to you, you're not using me. Or that would mean I use you as well. Is that what you think about me? Yeah, this is something different. Something you can't force. Something you can't plan. I won't lie, this is a little scary. Not really knowing where we're going. But if we're going together, I'm sure it will be somewhere nice. I wish we could stay like this until we arrived in Treble Rod. A shame the train doesn't go near there. Yeah, I guess it's one of the main reasons we'll be safe there. So far from the capital. Nobody will think of looking for us there. But finishing our journey in horse-draw carriage. I'm sure it won't be long before my bottom misses these seats. I bet I could sleep for a week straight if I nodded off on these cushions. Yeah, I guess I could sleep a little right now. But I don't want to bother you, and I drool a lot when I sleep. Of course you already know that. Goddess, this is so embarrassing. What have you done to me? What spells did you use to make me feel so peaceful when I'm with you? You must have slipped me one of your powders. That's the only way I'd feel this peaceful around you. You should be ashamed. But I forgive you. I really don't mind. You're still my hostage. I won't let you escape. So don't even try. I know all your tricks.